Welcome. This is the Scatterplot guessing game. When you first load the page, you will see over here there is a lovely scatterplot that says, what is R for this scatterplot? So you're guessing what R is. R is the correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient is how close the points are to being a straight line. The values go from -1 to +1 based on the slope of the line that the points would be forming. For example, this one looks like it would be a positive correlation. So you type over here. You can either type or use the arrow keys, and it will not let you go below -1 or above +1. So enter any value between those two. We're going to just guess that it's 0.3. We're pretty close. Up here we have the definition of correlation coefficient and what our guess was and what the actual calculated correlation coefficient is. Say OK, and it loads a new graph for you to choose the correlation coefficient for that. Let's say you do not want to have 15 points. The default is 15 points, and these are the 15 points on the graph. So in the order that they were calculated. For example, the first point that was calculated was 3.57, 5.769. So if we go to 3.57, 5.769, it's this point here. So you can see that that's how many points there are for here, and these are the values if you want to try to calculate the correlation coefficient yourself or want to get a better estimate of what it is. But if you do not want 15 random points, let's say you want 2, because 2, you know exactly what it's going to be. So you update the number of points. Look, there are 2 points. Well, we know 2 points always makes a line, and that looks like it's a positive slope. So we're going to type in the number 1. And amazing, it's correct. So it will always be 1 or -1 if you have 2 points. It's a quick way to win. So update it to 11. So it looks like it's slightly positive. So that's how you do enter your guesses. That's how you enter your random points. Random points, the least you can insert is 2. The most you can insert is 50. If you type in, for example, I'm currently typing in 250, it'll automatically change it to 50. At which point you have a lot of points in this graph. But we're going to change it back to 15 for this. Now let's say you just don't want to do this plot. So you know what? I'm just going to have a new plot show up. So it'll calculate more random points for you, and then you can go on. Now, if you want a little help, let's say, you know what? I want to know what the line would look like that it's trying to go to. Then you're going to click Display Regression Line. And this lovely pop-up gives you the definition of what regression line is, which is the least squares regression line. It's the line of best fit, and it squares all of the values at x, y, it sums x's and y's and x squareds and y squares and x y's, and calculates a line, in the form of ax plus b, where a is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And it plots a nice little line for you to see what it is. So this way you can say, oh, it does have a negative slope. So that way we know that the line is going to have, the correlation coefficient is going to be negative as well. And we can guess they're not that close to the line. So we'll put 0.1. And you can add as many zeros as you want. For example, if I think it's 0.000003 or 4, that's probably wrong. Yeah, it's very wrong, but just an example of what you can do. Now let's say that you want to see, you can keep the things open if you want. I just, for clarity, want to close them. you want to see your track record. How good am I at this? So I'm going to click these two things, and this, it shows the table of your guesses for the correlation coefficient and what the actual calculated correlation coefficient is, and in the order of your guesses. And over here it plots those points for you and even labels which guess it is. So that is how that works. Now let's say you want to end the game and you want to hand it to your friend for them to try to figure one out. You can click reset and it'll clear out both the graph and the table for the guesses versus actual correlation coefficient, and it'll create a new scatter plot for you to choose from to choose the correlation coefficient for. And you can keep on playing as long as you want. So I hope this tutorial has helped you, and I hope you have a great day.